Okay, so accounting software just split into two completely different species. On one side, you've got QuickBooks and Xero, relational databases wearing an accountant's hat. No real understanding of what a transaction actually means. On the other side, AI native ledgers like Digits are built on a semantic vector graph model that actually understands the flow of money, automatically books 95% of transactions, and only bothers a human with the exceptions. One solo firm used it to cut monthly bookkeeping from 108 hours down to 20. Today, we're breaking down how that architecture actually works, what it costs, and why plenty of accountants still don't trust it. Let's get into the weeds on this. When we talk about putting AI into business software, it often feels like taking a 19th century horse and buggy, taping a GPS to the dashboard, and calling it a self-driving vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the underlying engine hasn't changed at all. It's just a shiny, modern bolt-on.
Right.
And in the accounting world, that usually means slapping a chatbot on top of a database architecture that was essentially designed in the 90s.
Welcome to this morning deep dive. Today, we're cutting through the hype around AI accounting, specifically for, solo creators and small businesses.
Yeah, we really want to see what's actually working today.
Exactly. And our sources today include recent YouTube tech reviews, CPA software breakdowns, and a really fresh August 2026 Morning Pulse case study on this platform called Digits. We're trying to figure out if they're actually doing something new.
Right, because Digits is making some pretty big waves.
Okay, here's where it gets good. Because Digits claims they aren't just taping a GPS to a horse. They built this thing from the ground up as a smart car, and they call it an agentic general ledger, which, what does that actually mean?
Well, it really comes down to the architecture. Traditional accounting software relies on relational databases.
Which are basically just giant, dumb Excel spreadsheets, really.
Exactly. They're just flat rows and columns of numbers. But Digits, they use a vector graph data model, which they've actually been training since 2018.
Okay, a vector graph sounds incredibly dense. For a solo creator just trying to get their taxes done, what is that?
Fair question. Instead of a flat spreadsheet, imagine a detective's string board on a wall. A vector graph maps relationships.
Oh, okay, I can picture that.
Right, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, the AI isn't just reading isolated rows of text. It actually understands the semantic flow of money.
Meaning it knows the context.
Yes, it intrinsically knows that, say, a $50 recurring charge is linked to a specific software vendor, which connects to your operating expenses. And then that ultimately ties back to your main bank account.
So it's not just seeing $50. It understands what that transaction actually represents for the business.
Precisely. And because it understands that context, Digits is making a massive claim. They say their AI can auto-book 95% of small business transactions in real time.
Okay, but pause for a second. If I'm running a solo business, letting an AI touch my books without supervision sounds completely terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
We've all seen AI confidently hallucinate facts.
Yeah.
How do you trust it won't decide a personal lunch is some massive tax-deductible equipment purchase?
It's a completely valid fear. And looking across our sources, there's active skepticism about this exact scenario.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
But Digits solves this by relying on an exception-based workflow. Because their AI has been trained on millions of business transactions since 2018, it recognizes historical patterns.
Meaning it knows what normal looks like for my specific business.
Exactly. The AI handles the deeply mundane, predictable stuff, like automatically routing data from 19 different payroll connectors, including Gusto.
Okay, so it does the boring data entry.
Right, but if you usually pay $50 for internet, and suddenly there's a $5,000 charge to a new telecom provider, the vector graph recognizes that this breaks the established pattern.
And what does it do?
It immediately stops and flags it for you to review.
Oh, I see. So I'm not doing the manual entry. I'm just the editor checking the anomalies.
Nice. And the results are pretty staggering. Just look at the Elevate CFO case study from August. They're a solo advisory firm.
Right. I read about that one.
By putting clients on this exception-based system, that single operator eliminated 108 hours of manual bookkeeping every month.
Wow. Over 100 hours.
Yeah, and they completely killed an 18-day close process, getting it down to basically zero.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though, because the practical tools they've rolled out for 2026 take this way beyond just automating data entry.
Definitely.
Like, they launched a native iOS app so you can do on-the-go invoicing and receipt matching. But the wildcard feature is the Digits MCP, the Model Context Protocol.
Right. MCP is essentially a secure bridge that lets Digits talk directly to Anthropic's AI, Claude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that vector graph has already mapped your entire financial context, you can just open Claude and ask it to build you a dynamic, interactive future budget based on your historical data.
And it does that automatically.
It spits one out in exactly 4 minutes.
A full budget forecast in 4 minutes. That is incredible.
Yeah.
But you know, whenever I hear terms like enterprise-grade AI or predictive forecasting, I immediately assume I'm going to be paying $1,000 a month.
Well, that's the most surprising part. We should really ground this excitement in practical pricing because it's highly accessible for solopreneurs.
What are we talking price-wise?
Starter plans range from $35 to $65 a month.
Wait, really? Just $35?
Yeah, even the core tier, which gives you advanced reporting and dimensional accounting.
Meaning you can slice and filter your financial data by specific projects or departments.
Exactly. Even that tier is only $100 a month.
When you compare that to legacy software that forces you to buy a dozen pricey add-ons just to run a custom cash flow report, it really shows how AI accounting has moved from a shiny novelty to a foundational time saver.
It fundamentally shifts how solo operators manage their back office. I mean, you go from being a data entry clerk to a high-level reviewer.
Which leaves you with this to ponder today. If an AI native tool can successfully automate away over 100 hours of complex financial admin a month, what other untouched administrative pillars of your business are quietly becoming obsolete? Maybe it's time to check if your software is a smart car or if you're just driving a horse with a GPS. So that's where AI native accounting actually stands. Real-time savings, real skepticism, and a genuinely different architecture underneath it. Enjoyed this one? Drop a like, comment which accounting platform you're checking out first, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Until next time.